when someone has plans or like goals, just go for that. And if you, for example, want to go to a different country and have fears of going there, you don't have to do it like I said, for example, it was not always easy, but then after this 3 or 4 weeks in my example, it got way better. I now have like really, really good friends. You can connect all over the world and just be open, try to go into different bubbles like I did. And that's the way of yeah, finding friends.
I talked to Ben, my German friend who recently came to the UK for a semester studying abroad, and he's now back in Germany. In our conversation, Ben explained a little bit about how he felt being a German in the UK and what he had learned the most from his semester studying abroad. We also talked a little bit about our identity towards our countries and what we value most about where we came from. My name is Colin. Let's go.
Hey man, how are you? I'm doing great. Yeah, everything's good. What about you?
Yeah, not too bad. So you just went back to Germany, right, from the UK.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about your experience in the UK?
Okay. So first of all, just let me introduce myself for a moment. I'm Ben, 24, living in Germany in Regensburg in Bavaria. It's like an hour to the north from Munich. And I'm studying here teaching for secondary school for the subjects PE and English. And I did a term abroad in Swansea that started in September to, yeah, January. And now I got back and yeah, I would like to talk with you a bit about your experience and my experiences and the differences, maybe what we, yeah,
Yeah.
experienced
So
there.
yeah. Um, could you tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel? What you
Hmm.
do, like what kind of videos you have post?
Yeah, man. So the thing is, it's funny because I saw you started your YouTube channel maybe just 2 weeks ago or so.
Yeah, just around 2.5 weeks ago.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I think I started like a year ago or like, yeah, like 8 months or so. But the idea came really early. I had the idea like 4 years ago to start with YouTube a bit. Because I love traveling and getting in contact with people, and this is the content I wanted to show there. And then, yeah, like 1 year before, I just taught myself, yeah, just start, just do it. But it's just like a bit of a part-time thing, like not my main focus. Yeah. What about you?
So for me, I just start suddenly out of the blue, like 2.5 weeks ago. Because
Yeah.
before that, I post a video on my channel about it's just me promoting myself as an English teacher, but I didn't make it public. It was private. And then after I made that video, I feel like, oh, YouTube can be a thing I can develop. So I'm kind of interested in that because I want to share my ideas. And I also like traveling. So I really want to use this platform to share my travel experience with other
Mm-hmm.
people. So I started my first video about my solo travel stories, and then yeah, I just want to make content every week to inspire people to
Very cool.
travel, to maybe tell them some stories about life. So this is my idea of making this YouTube channel.
Nice.
So Ben, do you have any goals or yeah, just tell us your goals for your YouTube channel, or
Mm-hmm.
what
Okay.
is your purpose for your YouTube channel?
So my purpose, so like I said, I do like travel content and connected with like lifestyle and sports as well because I study sports and I love sports. So what I want to do is just show my life and maybe inspire some people, maybe even if it's just one person with my things that I'm doing, yeah, like inspiring and showing my experiences. And one more thing is that, yeah, you just have like, um, how can I say, like, I don't know the exact word at the moment, but you can see like 10 years later what you did in your 20s, for example. And this has to be great when you see, okay, oh my God, what did I do when I was 23 or 24? Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
one aspect as
understand that.
well.
Like, it's always good to recall the good moments in our life, especially as
True,
we go older. When we look back to the younger self, we really miss those moments, and those moments, really teach us some lessons. We can grow up by by those experiences we had when we were younger.
true. Yeah.
So, could you tell us a little bit about where you come from in Germany?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm based in Regensburg at the moment. That's in Bavaria, near Munich. And originally I'm from Bayreuth. That's like 1 more hour to the north, 1.5 more hours. And yeah, at the moment, Regensburg is my like main spot where I'm living. I'm living here in a shared flat with two other people. And yeah, it's a nice student city here. It's like 150,000 people living here, and big uni, like really many opportunities for students, lots of bars, lots of coffees, a nice sea. The Donau is going through Regensburg, and yeah, it's like really nice to live here at the moment. I feel really happy to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. So were you born and did you grow up there?
Mm-hmm. Not here. I was born like I said, like 1.5 hours more to the north, but then I moved here when I was 19, I think. 19 or 20. Yeah, now I'm 24, so 4 years here now, yeah.
Oh, so you are now there just for uni.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Could you tell us a little bit about the difference between where you are from and
Mm-hmm.
also where you are now?
Okay, so you mean between the two places in Germany?
Yeah, between the two places.
Okay. So where I'm originally from is a little village. It's called Mehlmeisel. There are living like 2,000 people, and it's like really rural. We don't have like much pubs, restaurants, not many options for young people. So it's more quiet, and I always wanted to go out of that a bit, out of that bubble, and see something different. And then when I came here for uni, it was like a completely new experience for me because here you meet so many people. I got a completely different friendship bubble, made so many new friends, and yeah, it's a different life here. And for me, in my 20s, I really like it to be here, and I see my like next 10 years or 5 to 10 years definitely here in a bigger city. It's not a big city, but it's like bigger than where I'm from.
How is the drinking culture where you are now? Are there a lot of pubs? Do you guys drink a lot,
Uh,
especially you guys are uni students?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like I said, I'm in year 4 now, of my studies, so we got a bit more calmed down. But like in the first like 2, 3 semesters, it was like heavy what we did. No, not heavy, but like we went out more often, like twice or 3 times a week, especially in the first couple weeks of the term. There were lots of parties, like every day there's a different party. And what we're doing now more is going to pubs, drink and talk to people. And then you have like these little festivals like the Dold. It's comparable to Oktoberfest, which lasts like 2 weeks. Um, like there are two periods in the spring and in autumn, every time for 2 weeks. And there is like drinking culture, you know Oktoberfest. It's like partying, drinking, having a mass And yeah, it's included in our tradition here. Yeah,
Yeah. So
definitely.
you were in the UK last
Yeah.
semester. How does the German drinking culture compare to the British drinking culture?
To be honest, when it comes to the young people, it's not too different because for me, it wasn't something new to experience, but I can imagine that for you, it was something completely different, right?
Yeah, it's
Maybe
very different. Yeah.
tell me about your experiences first, because for me, it was not too different
Yeah,
then.
so if you have seen my video, my last video about
Yeah, I
Hong Kong
watched it.
and British culture, is completely different. So in Hong Kong, we don't have a lot of pubs. All the pubs are concentrated in only one area. So if you live in Kowloon or you live in the New Territories, there are not that many pubs. So usually if you
Mm-hmm.
want to drink, we just go to convenience stores like 7-Eleven. We grab a drink there and then we go to the park, take a seat, and then we drink with our friends. But
Okay.
we don't drink as crazily as the British.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so it's quite a culture shock for me when I first came to the UK. Like my flatmates, they go to the pub every day and they just drink a lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean. The thing is, like, for me, I don't want to do this like every day because, like I said, I do lots of sports and I try to balance that really well. So not too much drinking, yeah. But so you weren't used to stuff like beer pong or drinking
I
games like
wasn't
that?
used to that. It's completely new to me.
Yeah. But did you try that out in Swansea?
Well, I actually did try a lot in my first year because I got more time. I
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like having house parties with my flatmates back in first year. But now I'm in my third year. I got a lot of work to do. I have to
Yeah.
manage this channel. I have to teach English as a part-time job as well. So I'm getting quite busy. So I don't have much time for that. Yeah, but it's a great experience for me to to experience a different culture coming
Yeah,
from the east to the west is a very yeah, it's a really lovely experience, I think.
can imagine.
So Ben, could you tell us more about your study abroad in the UK? Did you have any culture shocks when you first came here?
Mm-hmm. So let me tell you, the first thing I thought was that I dive into the culture and it goes really fast, and then like after like 1, 2 weeks, I'll be having good friendships. I'll do a lot of partying. Everything will be great because everyone told me, okay, this studying abroad is a magnificent experience and it's easy and it's lovely. But to be honest, for me, it took like 3, 4 weeks to really got used to that. So in the beginning, I was a bit lonely, and I was lonely in my life, to be honest. But in this point, I was like sorting out where to find my friends, a good friendship bubble, and yeah, I was not sure. Like the first weeks were a bit hard. It took me some time to find the people that I really like. Because of that, I tried different things. Like I went to different societies, for example, American society, German society. Then I did a lot of things with football. I went into the football society, played for the Bucks team there, and yeah, that was my how can I say, that was the opener to find people that I like, dive into different bubbles. Yeah, that
Was
helped
it
me.
your first time leaving a
Yeah, definitely. Like I did vacation before, but that was maximum of 2 weeks. But this was like going away for a longer time, the first time for me. Yeah,
yeah, it's a whole new experience, wasn't it?
definitely. How was it for you? Like, just tell me about your first like 3, 4 weeks. Was it easy? Was everything good, or when you came
Well, I
here?
actually came here with my parents in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I came here during summer. It was around late July. So I still got like around a month and a half before uni starts. So when I first came here, I I went to a I went to a Hong Kong church in Birmingham, and we met a lot of new Hong Kong families there. So I didn't really feel lonely because my family was already here.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first came to Swansea, it was because I came to Swansea on my own, so it was a whole new experience for me. So the first like 2 3 weeks, I I would feel a little bit lonely because I didn't know anyone here. But then I joined different societies like the Christian Union, Hong Kong Society, and that gave me chances to meet new friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I am an extrovert. I like talking to people. I like meeting new people, and I can figure out ways to deal with loneliness. So I'm not really concerned about being lonely because when I am lonely, I know there is a way I can deal with it.
Yeah,
So Ben, would you
definitely.
say you are an extrovert? Do you like meeting new people and
Yeah,
stuff?
that's the thing. Like I have no fear of being lonely as well. Um, because I'm an extroverted person. Like I'm really social. I go to people, I talk to them. That's not a problem for me. But yeah, in the beginning it was just like I didn't find the right people. Maybe that has to be a connection with my apartment. I lived on campus and I lived on in Kilby. Do you know that? It's like
Uh,
the dorm,
on
one of the
Singleton
dorms.
campus.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And in my flat, there were like most of them were freshers. They were like 18, 19 years old. And yeah, I couldn't connect too good with most of the people there. I don't know why, but yeah, some like I said, I'm 24 now, and sometimes I felt like the age difference a bit, to be honest. And on my flat, especially, I was in a single sex and alcohol free flat. There wasn't big, also I didn't apply for that. They just gave me that room because I was a bit too late with my application. And then I was in this flat, yeah, with like the single sex alcohol free. And some people there were like really quiet and really introverted. That's totally fine, but it's like a bit of a difference to me. And because of that, I had like a hard time in the beginning to connect in my dorm really good. But to be honest, then I found like one really good friend that I still have. Yeah, but that took a while. And yeah, do you want to know anything about other culture shocks for me, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Or could you tell us a little bit, like, was it easy for you to fit in the UK as a German? Do you feel like
Ah, yeah.
you could
Hmm.
relate to other people or British people in the UK?
Okay, so I have um one problem here because there were many people that were really open to foreigners like me, and there was another group that was really not open to me. And it's a bit strange because some people were like, "Oh, I really love Germans and I love Europeans," and I'm like really open and it's so nice. I want to travel to your country as well. And some people were like not open-minded, loved to stay in their group, in their bubble, and were just not open to connect. They were just a bit like, for example, with the football society, some people were really open, but some people were like, no, just stay in our British bubble and you Germans or you, I don't know, Hong Kongers or Chinese people, like, but it's like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I get what you mean. I think in the UK there are two types of people on the extreme. There are people who like meeting foreigners who are so open to talking to us and they're so interested in learning more about our culture. But there are
Mm,
also people who just stick with their own circle and they don't really engage with us. But
True.
maybe it's better for you because you look European and you're culturally more similar to the UK. But for us Asians coming from the east to the west, it is a longer journey for us to get used to life here. Like the way of life is very different. It's much more slow paced here. Like if you call a hospital for a checkup, it may take hours or even days
Yeah.
to see a doctor. But in Hong Kong, if you are sick and you call a hospital or clinic for seeing a doctor, it only takes you a few minutes and then you already get arranged a time to see the doctor. So the way
Really?
of
Oh,
life here
crazy.
is really different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But do you have like one or two more aspects that are so different comparing Hong Kong and yeah, UK, Wales, where we've been?
Food culture is also very different. Like especially maybe food manners, what I mentioned in my video. Like
Mm-hmm.
we in Hong Kong, if we have a meal with our relatives or our friends, we like to sit around a table together, and on the table there is a turning table where we put all the food together, and we like sharing food together. There is a sharing culture in terms of food
Yeah.
when we eat together. But here, when I'm having a meal with my local friends, they don't seem to be open to the idea of sharing food. They just order their own food and they eat their own food. So it's very different.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you mean. And like maybe I have one more aspect. For example, when I went to this society meetings, lots of people were like on the one hand open, but they just loved like a small talk. They just came to you, talked like for I don't know, like for 30 seconds or for 45 seconds, and then the whole conversation was over. Then they went on. And this is something that I don't really like because I like more like deeper conversations, like not just this on the outside. I like to go more a bit into the inside, you know what I mean? It's like having a good real honest conversation.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think British people like having small talks, like very
Yeah,
service level talks. They would
definitely.
say hi to you, ask, how are you? Are you alright? And
Yeah,
then after 10
us,
seconds,
yeah.
the conversation is over.
Surface
Life
level,
goes back to
surface level
normal.
is a good word for that. Surface
Yeah,
level, that is good, yeah.
yeah. How about Germans when you guys meet new people? Would you guys like having small talks or do you guys like having deeper conversations? What is the culture in Germany like?
It depends on the bubble where you're in. Like for example, with us students, it's a bit better than compared when you go to a small village where the people just live there and didn't get out of their bubble. For example, when you would come to my village back home, you would have a really harder time to dive into that. But here it would be more easy. But even here, some people are not too open. They just want to stick with their German friends. I think that's normal. But I have some friends who are really open as well. But I think that comes a bit with traveling and meeting new people, socializing and stuff. So yeah, I'd say in like student cities like Regensburg or like Munich, it would be easier to find friends and to dive in. But yeah, like that.
So for our audience who want to visit Germany,
Yeah.
could you tell us, like, if we don't speak German, can we get by?
Definitely. Like most of the Germans can understand English and most of them can speak very good as well. Maybe not like very good, but they can discuss and have a like surface conversation. Um, but yeah, like with English, when you can speak English, you have a really good chance to find people to speak and like I said, maybe try to go more to the student cities and stuff. There you'll have a good time. definitely. Germany is nice.
When did you start learning English? Your English is amazing.
Ah, thanks, man. That's nice to hear. Yours is very good as well.
Yeah, because I started learning when I was very young, maybe when I was
Yeah,
like 2 or 3. Because in Hong
I,
Kong, we have English as a compulsory subject, and English is one of the official languages. So English is quite an important language in Hong
yeah.
Kong. And if you speak English, you can get more chances in the workforce. How
True.
about in Germany? When do you guys usually start learning English?
Yeah, like you said, English is very important because it's like the world language, like one of the most spoken languages in the whole world. So, we start learning English in class 3, so with like nine 9 years old, roundabout. And like we do that on the surface level, and then we go on. Secondary school, we learn English as well. But then normally people like then stop after, yeah, grade 10 or so. It depends. Like when you do your A levels, for example, you learn English, for example, until you're like 17, 18. And then most of the people have a good basic level. But like for me, like I said, I study that as well, like sports and English. So I went on with this. So I improved and I did more. I went abroad. Because of that, my English is now on a level where I'm happy with it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know more about how English is taught in Germany. Do you guys only focus on grammar, or do you guys actually get the chance to practice speaking? How
hmm
do English teachers teach in Germany?
Okay. So like vocab is one big thing. Like vocabulary list that the pupils have to learn. Grammar is a big thing as well. But the aspect of speaking often is a bit too low for the people because we have like, or for the students, we have often like classes with like 25 people in it. And the hours are often like just 45 minutes of practicing teaching. And sometimes one single student just has the option to speak or argue like once or twice in a whole lesson. And this maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. So like you see, they are not talking really much. And because of that, the talking skills are not too good. I think from a grammatical point of view, they are not bad, but I think you learn English just from speaking. I think it's the biggest part of a language.
Yeah, I do believe if you have the chance to speak, it is the fastest way and the most efficient way to improve a language. I
Yeah.
think it's the same issue in Hong Kong and also in a lot of Asian countries. We just focus a lot on grammar, reading and writing, but we don't get a lot of chances to practice how to speak the language. So a lot of students, they just end up, they may score, they may get an A in English, but they still can't have a proper conversation in the
Mm,
language, and or they are not
true.
very confident speaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
did you
Maybe
guys
one
have English lessons every day in Germany?
in school we had like not every day, but like 3 or 4 times a week
Uh,
usually. But
yeah.
like one more aspect that I wanted to say is that I think the education gets better. Like I did my practicals like last year, and I saw that teachers are doing like lots of group discussions and like smaller discussions, and try to include the students more in the way of speaking. And I think that that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you know, like, yeah.
other than English, do you guys have to learn other languages in Germany?
Yeah, like I was on like the highest school level. It's called gymnasium. So when we go secondary school, we have three choices. It's like Mittelschule, Realschule, or Gymnasium, and Gymnasium is the highest, and there you can do your A levels, okay? And then you can go on with uni and start studying and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
And sorry, what was the question? I forgot it. Uh,
Did
the
you learn any other languages other than
exactly. Yeah.
English?
So we had, like I said, to start with English in year three. So we already had that for like 3 years. And then in class six, we had to decide between Latin or French. That was for my school. But in other schools, they can decide between Latin, French, Spanish, and sometimes other languages as well. It depends on the school what they're offering. So yeah, so for me, I did Latin for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my God, really long, many years, many years. And the other guys sometimes choose or have chosen French, for example. Yeah,
How's your Latin now?
my Latin.
Can you speak a bit of Latin now? Like, could you introduce yourself in a few sentences in Latin?
Yeah, maybe the thing is, Latin is a dead language, and when I see words, I can recognize them, and it helps me for like recognizing, like for example, Italian words or other Romance languages, like which have a connection to that. But it's like it's not a spoken language. I wouldn't be able to have a conversation in Latin just because it's not spoken in this way, like English. But I
Yeah,
can
it's
say
a.
like salve or salve magister.
What does that mean?
That means hello teacher, I think.
It's a very
Salve
special
magister. Yeah,
language. I can
yeah,
imagine because most
yeah,
languages are in both written and spoken form, but Latin is only in written form. Yeah, that's interesting. So,
yeah.
could you tell us your favorite thing about Germany? If you have to choose one thing, what would that be? What is your favorite thing about your country?
Okay. Favorite thing about Germany. So, what I said to my friend when I came home here is that in Germany you have a really good way of living. You have a good condition of living, you know? It's like you have everything you need. Everything is like it's like a safe space there. You have everything. You have good education. You don't have to pay much for education compared to the UK, for example. So I'd say all in all, the good way of living plus the traditions. For example, in Bavaria, for me, it's like this thing with going out, partying, having cool traditions, festivals. Yeah, like I said, I just really enjoy the country. But it's hard to say one certain aspect, like don't know, education or don't know, sports. It's hard to say that just one word. What would you say for your country? Like for example, what's
So,
that?
in Hong Kong, I really like the accessibility of Hong Kong because Hong Kong is quite small. So, if we go from one end to the other end, even if you take public transport, it only takes you like 2 hours. You can basically go all over Hong Kong.
Okay, that's a
And
cool
there's a lot
aspect.
of
Yeah.
shopping malls and a lot of restaurants as well. So
Hmm.
if you're hungry and you don't want to cook, you can just go down the road. It takes you 1 minute to get down there to get some food. So it's very convenient, and I have learned to appreciate that about Hong Kong after moving to the UK. Because in the UK, if you if you want to get grocery, you may have to walk for half an hour, or you may have to take a bus to go to the supermarket, and sometimes the buses don't really show up, so you have to
True.
wait for a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really teaches me to appreciate what I have back home when I live overseas.
Yeah.
So, how would you see yourself as a German? Do you do you like this identity? Like when you travel overseas, how do you feel being a German? How would you
Hmm.
identify yourself?
To be honest, I feel good in my skin when I say that I'm from Germany. Yeah, it's definitely not a problem. Like I said, I enjoy way of living here, and I can definitely add my point of view to yours with the traveling and the accessibility, because here like there are so many options with buses and trains and stuff, and the train and bus transport is really cheap for us students. For example, I have a ticket that just costs like 11 euros per month, and I can travel with all like trains and buses and stuff. Like not the high speed trains, but like the transport trains, the typical ones. Yeah. So the question is how I would feel in a different country. Definitely good. I I feel free to talk about my country. Yeah. You too? Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of being a Hong Konger. So whenever I travel overseas, or even though I've been living here in the UK for 2.5 years now, I would still identify myself as a Hong Konger because this is where I come from. This is
Yeah,
where my spirit is,
true.
and I still feel I can fit in better with my Hong Kong friends than with my British friends. Um, yeah, so I really value this identity.
Yeah.
So, do you have
Uh,
any life advice for our viewers if they are struggling to find their purpose? Do you have any advice for them?
yeah, definitely so. When someone has plans or like goals, just go for that. And if you for example want to go to a different country and have fears of going there, you don't have to do it like I said, for example, it was not always easy, but then after this 3 or 4 weeks in my example, it got way better. I now have like really good friends. Like even just some days before, I talked to a friend from Swansea that I met in the football team. This year he wants to visit me here in Germany. So you see, you can connect all over the world and just be open, try to go into different bubbles like I did. And that's the way of yeah, finding friends. And for me it was a good experience. Like I said, my English got way better. I increased my personality, my self confidence as well. So technically just do that. When you want to go abroad, do that. Please.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And
Yeah,
it's always a lesson for you to learn when you live abroad because you
yeah,
go to a new place, you experience a different culture, and you meet new friends. I'm sure you have learned a lot by your past semester living in the UK. And here's my
true.
last question. Would
Yeah.
you see yourself moving overseas in the future for work or maybe just to, just to live overseas? Do you have any plans on that?
Okay, so to be honest, I thought about this question some days before as well. So what I got out of this term abroad, and for me it was a good experience. But now I'm happy to be back because here I'm so connected here in my city, so many friends, and my I see my future in Germany to live here. But I'm definitely open for traveling again and going abroad for like more weeks and maybe gain some working experience in another country as well, maybe in South America or Africa, maybe for some weeks to teach there when I'm finished with my studies. That's something I want to do. Yeah, but then going back here and living here. Yeah.
Is there a favorite place you want to travel?
Mm, like I said, South America, I want to see maybe places like Colombia or Costa Rica or Peru, maybe this area. Um, and I thought about Africa as well because I've never been. I've been once in Africa and Morocco, but maybe South Africa or something like that would be impressive, I think. Yeah.
Maybe you have to start learning Spanish and
Oh yeah,
Arabic now,
yeah,
so you can get by when you go there. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you so much, Ben. Thank you very much for your time today.
It was
Yeah, it's
really
really
cool.
lovely to chat with you.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad because you just asked me questions and I didn't get too much out of you, but yeah,
No, it's okay. It's a lovely conversation. I'm sure our listeners will like listening to our conversation. Yeah, thank
maybe
you very
we
much
can
for
do
it.
thanks. Maybe we can do a second part and then I ask you
Maybe we can do
questions.
that. Yeah.
We'll see.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's the conversation I had with my friend Ben. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Peace.